Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop for this Monday night episode of Bob TV, baby. Oh, I'm just sitting here working on my molds on Monday night. Thought I'd make you guys a video, even though I told Lip Ripper Dave I wasn't going to make a video for a week and tell everyone it was his fault because Seattle won last night and he kept rubbing it in. I was going to tell all you guys it was Lip Ripper Dave's fault because I didn't make no videos for a week. And you guys were going to send the ninjas after him. Now, for some reason, I'm having a little trouble with these flat molds. Okay, these are the ones. I think what I originally did was this was my first mold. I don't think I cleaned my mold release off because it always sticks to your part. When I pulled my parting plane off, it had mold release on it. And I just waxed over the top of the mold release. And when I pulled that first part off, the glue was stuck so bad that I had to sand it off. And you can do that though and polish it and get a nice smooth finish, better than the original finish. And I did that, but it's almost like I forgot to wax it because it did it again. And I do not understand why. But I'm going to fix it this time, baby. Oh yeah, I ain't going to do that no more. I'm going to wax it. Put a heavy coat of wax on it and then take my heat gun. That heat gun does is it liquefies that wax and opens the pores. And it won't stick to no glue no more. See, this is that aluminum filled surface coat. When you sand it, you can start seeing the aluminum, and when I polish them, they get shiny, man. So I worked on these molds too today. On my plug, this part here was deep inside there, and it was kind of hard to sand all that. So they come out, you know, they wasn't exactly flat. But on my mold, they're on here on top. So what I did, I just made me a little sanding block. Started out with 220 grit, wet sanded it, got it flat. Then you get it shiny. Then I went to 600, okay? Then I sanded it with 1500, and then hit it with the buffer. This ain't my favorite buffer. This works. It's not a real high RPM like you really need for buffing, but it does alright. I got a buffing pad that I put on my regular Dotco, but I can't find it at the moment. It does a little better because it turns more RPM. See what buffing does, you guys want to know what buffing does? It gets the top layer molten again almost, and it realigns everything to where it gets it so shiny. You know, you can burn paint by doing it, but that's what it does, and it just kind of changes the molecules around to where if they're standing up, and that's what makes it shiny. Now this I ended up with 1500 grit. Now this is the cutting stuff. And your compound actually cuts it. I mean, it'll cut it down. And see, final cut cleaner. And then you polish it with polish. So we'll just put a little dab right there. Mix it around on that pad first, or it'll cling it, Then we'll come down here And you can't go too fast, or you ain't aligning the molecules. I'm talking like a dang college professor. Trying to impress myself there. Don't want to go too fast. That made a big difference, just that right there. You see it? You wipe that extra off. See, that's it, cuts it. Do that one more time. Too much build up on this, you can just take a screwdriver or anything, really, just kind of clean the hunks off. Black stuff, it's cutting. Oh yeah, that's looking good there. Now this is going to be nice and flat and smooth down deep in my rudder, you know. And they're going to look good. This makes it shiny. This is just a finer grit. This is like, you know, 6,000 grit paper. This is like 20,000 grit paper. You know, it's more like easy to describe it. Goes a long ways with compound. doggy. It's got the making her shiny. Look at that now, man. That thing's shiny like a brand new quarter. Ooh, doggy. Okay. And these didn't want to pop out either. Or that one was kind of stubborn. That last half was kind of stubborn. I'm gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that right now. Okay, y'all gotta pay close attention. You can probably watch it happen. Some big old feet. Okay, now we're going to impregnate this surface coat with some wax. Get all this compound off here. Now, the glue still sticks to it. It didn't need it was just that flap. Just half of it. They're both the same halves, though, see? So that's why I think it had something to do with that. And they kind of stuck again. I couldn't believe it. Now what I'm going to do is this is a bottom part of a sock. Oh yeah, it's a Bobo sock. Give me some of this honey wax. Now this is not car wax, guys. Car wax is different than this. This is not meant, car wax ain't meant for a buildup, you know what I mean? It's got other stuff in it. Well, this stuff is a mold release matte wax. But I'm not saying in any way that you don't have to use mold release with this. I never lay up a part without mold release. Some people do. Tom Cook was telling me he don't never use mold release. He hates it. Guys, all I'm saying is you're totally on your own. If you ever try that, let me know how that works. I would never do that. I'm just scared. I don't know. Call me a sissy. I don't want to ruin a set of molds. And you can always come in here and scrape a little extra glue off. You know, do a little polishing here and there, upkeep on your mold. Now I'm gonna just get a lot of wax in there. A lot of wax. These are gonna just fall out of the mold next time. We are getting serious. Hey, but I got a surprise for you guys. You must tune in tomorrow night. Santa Claus is coming to the shop. Believe it or not. I thought Santa Claus done forgot who I was. Guess he been reading them letters, man. Yeah, we're just seeing, watch it melt. We'll try and zoom you guys in here. See if I can do this. Okay. See that little pile right there? Don't want to get it too hot. We just want to melt that wax and get the surface of this epoxy hot just to open up the pores. This is high temperature surface coat. So I'm not worried a bit about it. It's good for 500 degrees. See where that did that? All that wax is gone. It's liquefied. And soaking into that surface coat. Probably should have let it dry a little bit, but I'm going to do it again. Do both parts. Yeah, I didn't even wipe it off. I'll get the big chunks off and wipe it down better after it sits a little bit. Well, these going to be some good looking rudders now, baby. We just got serious. But I've got a surprise for you guys. Man, look at them things shining now, man. Look at them things a shining now. Just a shining. Hey, you guys can buff your airplanes too. Remember that big old GB I was telling you guys I made? I scratch built that. Well, at that time, my best friend owned a body shop. That's where we painted it, and we used base coat, clear coat. We wet sanded that thing and buffed it. Oh, you should have seen the paint job on that GB. Oh, you should have seen it. It looked like, better than any Corvettes painted out of the factory. It was a Ferrari paint job, you know. It was no Chevrolet. Okay, back to the molds I was having trouble with. Oh, but that GB was pretty, guys. You should have seen it. You should have. It just shocked the RC world. Because there was nothing that big at that time. You know, they had just came out with that 3W240. And I was like the third person in the United States to have one of them motors. And had to have props, special made, but luckily there was an old boy up in Salina, which is about 100 miles from here, who makes props. What was the name of them props? Doggone it, I think he's still doing, he might be retired now. What's his name? I'll think of it here in a minute while I'm buffing. That's when you always think of stuff. Well, turn the compressor back on. Okay, that's the B4. See, it's smooth, but it's kind of flat looking. That's the before picture. that other one that on my dock coat. This is good enough. Good enough. This really does, and they sell this as a buffer, but it don't. A polisher, 3-inch pneumatic polisher, and it really don't turn enough RPM to be a buffer. Maybe that's the difference. But see, it's getting shiny. I'm going to do the same thing to this. I'm going to wax this whole part and heat it up. See if I can stop that sticking stuff. Because the rest of these molds, you just razor blade this as fast as you can go. They're really getting seasoned nice. But after about 4 or 5 pulls, they're really going to get good. That's all I got for you guys. I'm going to get these buffed tonight and get this mess cleaned up. Get this mess cleaned up. And because I got to get on some other stuff, and I got a surprise coming tomorrow, and I'm going to need the room, baby. What do you guys think it is? Give me some guesses. It's gonna blow you away. You're gonna say, "Oh, no way." That's all I got, and I will be back tomorrow to show you what Santa Claus brought. Let's see you back in the shop. Same Bob time, same Bob station.